first topic. Y'all saw DJ Envy, his wife. They got a book. They doing a tour. They on a Will Smith, Jada Pinkett shit. Y'all familiar?
Yep.
So his wife said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he was her first, right? And so she didn't really know what she didn't know. And she said essentially she been faking it. I think they've been together for 20 years, married for 16 or something like that. If I'm off, I apologize. But she said she essentially been faking it all this time. And she's talking about how he been going to work and doing his best and he's a pleaser. And she feel like that's the reward for when a man is trying to please his woman. And she felt bad because she couldn't give that to him. But she said she been faking it for the past 20 years. That's a long time. Poop, let me get your thoughts just on that. What you think?
I don't know. I mean, my life kind of mirrors theirs as far as like entering the relationship really, really early, like 15 to 34-ish. But I think it's her responsibility to know her own body. Like that's on her. I'm not faking anything for 20 years. That's weird.
Yeah, that's
So I think, I think it's her responsibility to learn herself, to learn her body, learn what she needs to do to get herself where she needs to be. Because ultimately, I feel like it's the woman's responsibility to get themselves to an orgasm.
okay. Sean, what's going on, man? Welcome back. What you think, man? DJ Envy. What's her name?
Gia or Gia.
Gia. Like what's your thoughts on just the thing, everything?
Holmes ain't know what he was doing. I mean, even though that may have been her first, right? But she wasn't his first. So I'm sure he had some fun along the way. I think that was publicized and all that. But if you know what Rick Ross was up there not too long after they talked about it, he said you can't fake that sensation and that puddle in the bed, right? There's only so many things you can fake. If if you ain't getting that reaction ever, and you hear about it, you hear people talking about it, and you don't ever get that reaction out of your woman or that sensation out of her, then you know he coming up short himself.
Right.
Now, what do you mean by a puddle is always a thing?
No, it's not always. But if you never ever received that, then that should be telling you something. That should be, smoke out the chimney. Fire's coming. Something's wrong.
Okay, Alex, what's your thoughts?
Well, I actually saw an interview, and I listened to her lip service interview. It was 7 years that she was faking this orgasm, and so I just want to clarify that. And they've been together 26 years and married 20. But anyways, I don't know how you I mean, I see how it's possible, but I don't see how her husband never knew. But what was interesting to me is like later on, he went on to cheat. And she said she thinks that's the reason that contributed to his self-esteem. So he went and stepped outside of their marriage to go and be with somewhere where he felt that he could satisfy. For me personally, I'm going to tell you. I either came this time or I didn't. It was good or it wasn't. You should do this and not that. But that's just me personally. Like I want to get mine too. There's not enough love in the world to just
absolutely
like that.
Relationship can't survive bad sex, Adrian.
No. We'll answer for him collectively.
Nah, but I feel like nah.
No.
Nah, it's not probable.
Okay. B, what you think about the subject?
Well, I don't know either of them. But nonetheless, just from what's so funny? Y'all all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Alex said a great point. How would he have not known? I mean, how would he have not known? But I feel like she should have just told him, said, "Hey, hon, your moves ain't working, for me to get mine off. Maybe we could try this, maybe we could try that. Maybe they need some toys. Man, I don't know. But I mean, I feel like she should have just communicated that with them. It's kind of, maybe he didn't know, but after 20 years, you got to eventually know your woman.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's kind of, I don't know. That's like, how would he have not known? Like, maybe we could say the first few times he didn't know, but eventually 20 years, you got to know eventually your woman's body and when she's letting out. But then again, she should have just said it. Hey, babe, I ain't getting mine off. We got to try something different.
So you think so you saying that because of the familiarity he should have known?
Well, yeah, absolutely. There's certain things you just know.
But
Absolutely.
if
If you having sex with the woman for several years, you should know her body.
but
even
if
if
she,
I
she's
was
on
fucking
top,
one
that means
woman
she's
for 2
thinking it
years and
up.
I learned her body. So hell, how could he not learn that in 20 goddamn years, motherfucker? You ain't doing something right.
Yeah, it almost sounds unbelievable. Like to be with the same
Yeah,
person that
exactly.
long, you're gonna accidentally make her come.
Yeah. Now, could they have done that for the entertainment? That's what I'm starting to think. I just think it was entertainment. There's no way you smashing a woman for 20 years, you not know nothing about her body. That's like
so
the biggest component because she's gonna make some type of noise, and even like Sean said, you're gonna see something. Like when you look down, you're gonna see something. If everything is dry, some on, brother.
But,
nah, but
but it could still be wet and not.
And she said
Well,
she was like
Correct.
being
Those are
loud
not.
and things like that.
Yeah, she would have had to put on Academy Award performance every time
well,
she got to
yeah.
that point of the episode for it to go on that long. That's crazy.
But who's gonna fake it that long though? So that tells me she has some issues. If
No,
Well, no,
she can't,
she probably just wanted to please her man. I don't think she got any issue behind it.
well, no, don't fake it for me, bitch. Tell me, say Brian, look, this ain't
Bruh.
working. Hell, listen. This is what I'm saying. You see how so many things evolve.
no.
20 years you dealing with this when you could have nipped this in the bud month one. Just say it ain't working and we need to switch something up. Because
She
it's
tried that
selfish
and he
for the man.
cheated.
Because it is selfish in all fairness for the man to get his off, but in 20 years she doesn't get hers off. But she should have just communicated that in the beginning. That's why I say be direct. Just say what you got to say, nip it in the bud, and just be done with it. So 20 years is kind of like, yeah, he should have known, but on the flip it, you didn't say nothing. You drug it out for 20 years, and now all of a sudden you want to say something about it. She obviously has some issues with her own self.
well, I think he was her first, right? And that's her
Yep.
husband. So I
All right.
think that needs to be considered somewhat. But if she never ever orgasmed before, how does he know? Right? How does she know how her orgasm looks or feels? And just because a woman is yeasty doesn't mean that she orgasming left and right.
No.
So
Nice.
Also, I just wanted to say
No, if you
statistics show that less than 20% of women achieve orgasms from penetration.
Right.
So
yeah,
not all women have orgasms. You can get wet, all that other stuff, but that doesn't mean that you are going to finish. And a lot of the times it's not the man. It's, there's been discussion and conversations for individuals who pleasure themselves or masturbate a lot. It's very hard that when they're having sex with their partner for them to actually orgasm because they're used to doing it one particular way in their private time. So when they get with a partner, it's a lot of times it's difficult for them to have an orgasm.
Right.
yeah, okay. Molly, what you think?
Which question am I answering in regards to her faking it?
Whatever question you want to answer.
Okay. I think some women fake it in different situations. I don't know DJ Envy. I don't know how long he's had the bag, but maybe she was faking it for the bag. I don't know.
Well, I think they was together when they was like 15 years old.
Yeah, since kids.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
High school.
But what would that have to do, because you've said that a few times, what would that have to do with her just telling him?
No, well, Molly was saying maybe she was with him for the bag. I was saying they met in high school.
So it obviously wasn't for that then. If they met,
But sex can still be enjoyable for women without achieving orgasm through intimacy, right? So you could still be having a fun time. You just didn't get to the ultimate
finish line, right?
Right. So you could, for women, you could still be having a great time and not necessarily have an orgasm. So, and I
Mm.
think that she said that in her lip service interview, like, I was still having a good time. It wasn't like it was terrible and she was rolling her eyes and she was just waiting for it to be done. She was having a good time. She just didn't get like the ultimate
Yeah.
orgasm, which happens. Like, the intimacy for women sometimes is enough where you can fake it for 7 years. I
Mm.
personally wouldn't, but she did.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know any woman that would. I mean,
A lot
We
of women
know.
do.
We know one.
yeah.
Q, what you think? You think men know if women are faking it?
I think men do know. I think DJ Envy didn't. And I think it goes back to your point, Ham, like of them meeting so young and being, because he probably was her first and it remained like that, or her second. Let's say he didn't have as long of a record as most men.
Mhm.
So it's like, even if you look at that interview, he was making like monkey noises,
What
saying,
you
"Oh, I
mean?
knew you. I felt like you were because you were making these noises." So clearly, he wasn't in tune with her anatomy.
Yeah.
If that's what an orgasm is to him, so it seemed like he really didn't know.
Yeah.
And
He didn't
so
feel no
yeah,
tightening, like nothing.
I think he was completely oblivious. But yeah, no, I think in general, I think most men know. I think if you have sexual intercourse with a certain intention, it's gonna come across more tantric than anything, and you will know. You just know.
Hmm.
And then as far as her faking it, it's like, good, great. Keep that same energy. Why? Like, because she basically then told him after all that time, no, 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 that's not it. Like right in the middle of it. Like, what was the point of that?
Hmm.
She never said it was guilt based or, I felt horrible, horrible, horrible. I mean, she kind of alluded to that, but you did that shit for mad long. Like, it ain't like you did that for a month and then let up on it. So I would be curious to know what made her want to hold off for 7 years, because that seems like a blow to his ego.
We out.